www.wdmedia.org.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show on the Widu Radio Network, WIDU 1600 AM and 99.7 FM. We're glad you're with us. Sit back and stay tuned and enjoy today's program. And here's your host for today.
And good morning to you. Thank you so much, my producer. You handled that real quick. Producer Cat Tammy Quick this morning, and I just love her. When I pull up and I see she's here, I say, oh, we good today. Look, excited about our guest today. We have Dr. Tamara Colvin. The name is familiar with you. She is spouse of Mayor Mitch Colvin. That's his boss. And
you got that right.
That's where they roll. But anyway, I saw on the social media this piece where she was doing this thing about nominating businesses, and wanted her to come in and chat about that, and also talk more about the Fairfield State University. That's a regional hub, correct?
Correct.
Right, a regional hub. And also say to her, you know, you're welcome to come over. You know, your husband be over all the time. You can come over as much as you want to as well. So good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Troy, for having me.
Excellent. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning. I hope you treat her better than you treat me when I come over.
Definitely. Now, first of all, your mom is listening, and I ain't gonna have her mad at me.
Yeah, she's probably listening right now.
Yeah.
She's not probably, she is.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Dr. Colvin, again, welcome into our studios. Want to chat about what you were talking about, because I know there are a number of businesses that would be interested in what you were talking about on your social media posts.
Yes, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you, with the community, about the Entrepreneurial Impact Gala Awards. So where this has come about is giving businesses, our community leaders and industries an opportunity to be recognized and celebrated for the incredible work they're doing to drive our economy here. And so what we wanted to do was celebrate that, but also give an opportunity to to recognize businesses and small businesses that's in the community that's doing the amazing work. We have some nominations that are nomination categories that we will love for the community to either self-nominate themselves or nominate themselves as well. So some of our categories that I would like to talk about is one is like the Small Business of the Year. A business that's been in the business for a while, at least existing 2 years or more, who is driving economic growth, growing. They have innovation. They're leading the market in the industry that they're in. We also have the Multi-Generational Award. Sometimes those businesses don't get recognized for having that succession of carrying out a business 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 generations. So if you have family members in your business, if you've been here, you're the pillar of the community that has really kept this economic engine going. To be able to recognize those businesses that have been here. And then we also have our emerging business, those that are excited about going into business and they're less than 2 years old, but yet they're doing amazing work too. We would like to honor and recognize them as well.
Okay, so
it's just a couple of categories. We have about 10. You can go to our website, fsuhub.com. You click on the link that shows the flyer, and there you'll see the nominations. And there are about 12 different nominations that you yourself, if you're a small business owner, Entrepreneurial of the Year, Multi-Generational Business, a Legacy Business. The categories are there, and also I'll give you a description of what those categories are.
So is this regional or is this limited to Cumberland County?
It's regional. So it's a regional because we are a 10-county region.
Okay.
Yes. So we do work with businesses, and we work with businesses in Robeson County, Harnett County, Moore County. Yes.
Oh, cool. I really like that. I got some ideas on that. Okay, that's great. 10 counties. Wow, that's about southeast.
Like Sand Hills. Yeah, we call it the Sand Hills region.
Right.
From Sampson County to Moore to Robeson, Scotland, Richmond.
Great, fantastic. So tell us more about the hub. I mean, how long has the hub been there now?
September 2021.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
It was originated really from Chancellor Allison. Prior to me, he had a vision for wanting to have a one-stop shop where people will have access to tools and resources to build, starting a business or building their business and expanding their business. So my understanding here went to the city, the county, and state with this idea of this is what I want, this one-stop shop, especially when he knew that the state was going to allocate probably the most funding that Fayetteville State has ever received in capital projects. And his goal was to ensure that local businesses were able to receive those contract dollars. And so that was one of our biggest initiatives there. And he had went to, like I said, county, city, and state, and Golden Leaf, and said, this is my vision. And then they agreed to it and thought it was one of, and Mayor Colvin can speak to that as well, and felt like that was a needed resource. And so that's how that came to be.
Yeah, so going back, it was, I remember when that started, because that was just like nothing over there under Chancellor, I'm trying to think of his name now, because he's from Harnett County too.
McLeod?
Yeah, McLeod. And he started it, and it was Bronco Square, and now it's Bronco Midtown. Right, so I remember all of that when that was going on. So, Mr. Mayor, I find it interesting that, at a time, we have, you got the Fayetteville State Hub over there, and you also have the Chamber over there. So we have this stuff in the middle of, or it kind of sort of in the middle of the African American community. I mean, that was a time that we would have thought that would have never happened.
You got that right. Well, good morning. Good morning to Dr. Colvin. I'll be professional in here today. But Chancellor Allison will always be my guy because he came to us probably August, September with this vision about it. The city was already putting concentration on how to capture more local dollars, and I actually met her because he came to us, and I was complaining one day when my assistant Jennifer was like, "Don't forget about it. You got a 9 o'clock at Fayetteville State," and I was fussing. I was like, I got this to do today and that to do. I went down and I said, oh. And so look at what it led to. So Chancellor Allison's my guy.
Tammy, you hear that? That was love at first sight.
Thank you, Jennifer. And thank you, Chancellor. But I will say this: the work that she's doing is immeasurable because they have been able, her and her team, they have been able to take something for a long time that's been kind of not tracked and we didn't really have a structured plan, and they put where the city and county's efforts and PwC and the hospital's efforts all come together and emerge, and there have been some great success stories coming out of there. You know, as a small business person, I understand that there are challenges. Businesses are at different phases. If you think of it like very infancy stage all the way to a mature stage, and they have something that touches every one of those spaces down there, and so they're doing great work. There have been a number of businesses that have scaled up, that have hired people. They have certainly benefited from the huge capital spend that Fayetteville State had, from building the business of education building to the health and wellness to the dorms to even Bronco Midtown was purchased fully by the university because of some help from Golden Leaf and the state, and renovated. And like you said, it was a hub in the middle of an area that economically needed a boost, and for it to have had the chamber here for a while. I think they've just recently located it, but I think they were there for 3 or 5 years, which again back in the day would have never been thought of. And so Chick-fil-A and Fayetteville State is a huge stakeholder, and you see their presence over here, and that's how we wanted to continue to do it, to be an institutional partner with them.
Wow, that's amazing, and certainly was, I would call, exciting to watch all of this unfold.
Yeah.
So you are an adjunct professor over in the Broadwell School of Business as well?
I am. Yeah,
Right.
So I teach business communications, an adjunct professor online.
Sure. Okay. And so, I know, the Broadwell family connected to the Fayetteville Observer, and knew Charles Broadwell very well. I remember when he was graduating from UNC and starting out on his journey into journalism. So I remember when that started, the Broadwell School. Let's talk about that, the insertion of those kinds of things inside of the university setting and what it means for our greater community.
Well, with the Broadwell College of Business and Economics, if you know that we're the number one MBA programs in the nation, that we graduate, and we're economically affordable as well. With the Broadwell College, we have graduated some very successful business owners from, right here. And our very own, sitting in front of me, Mitch Colvin with the Colvin Funeral Home, and some other local businesses as well. What I think we do extremely well in Broadwell is, I call it experiential learning, that we give our students an opportunity to practice what they've learned in theory in the classroom and allow them to work with small businesses. So that's how we collaborate. The hub is under the Broadwell College of Business and Economics. And so what we do is we identify small businesses in the community that have a real problem, and we connect them with our students in the classroom. And that student work with that small business and identifying what that critical issue is in their business, and provide them with recommendations of how they can prove upon that, and then also be able to track that later to see, was there some efficiency, streamlining, revenue growth that we can go back and tangibly say, this is how our students are also impacting the economy locally. So I think that's one of our biggest flagship programs and services that we provide, that I work really closely, my team and I, with professors and connecting them with small businesses as well as industries too. Matter of fact, we had Deloitte and our Broadwell College students, our MBA students, who did a consulting project for the city of Fayetteville.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, and whether it's business or institutional, they've got some great talent down there. And, as a business person, sometimes you run into, well, most of the time your job is figuring out whatever constraints are, whether it's access to money, it's personnel, it's operationally, and so I actually, ran through the test model. They wanted to use me as a test case early on, but they identified some constraints that I didn't realize. They said, well, hey, you need to set up a little bit more of organizational authority because, what happens in the event that you're not around or unavailable to do something. And so, those graduate level and bachelor degree business students, they had some interesting things to say, man, and it was great. That's what I said. Whether you're a veteran business or business that needs interaction with the student population, which helps them and you, that's a free service, and very rarely can you get those kind of skill sets. Consultants charge tens of thousands of dollars for those services, that back office support. You've got a lot of people who know how to do their trade. They know how to build or fix something, but they don't know how to do the paperwork or submit a bid or get their invoicing together. And so the Hub provides a venue for all of that free of charge, and that's an outstanding resource.
True. And Dr. Coleman, so, I know your journey there, Fayetteville State, Central Michigan, and then UNC Charlotte.
Did his homework, didn't he?
But there are some people that are successful in business that don't have the kind of educational background. Studied about the Fuqua School at Duke. He was not a highly educated man. But then I think about Mr. Mayor, I know you and I know him very well, and she may know him as Mr. Spurgeon Watson.
Yeah. Mr.
Spurgeon Watson is an incredible businessman here in this community, particularly on Murchison Road. And I know he owns a very attractive property over on Riley Road, a mobile home park. But just as an outsider, I like to see more use of people like him because he can bring some practical things to the table. Not, he's not a highly educated guy, but he's a Vietnam vet, came here, and he has an incredible story, borrowed a couple of dollars, and man, he's all that now.
Yeah.
And Mayor, I know you know him very well.
Yeah, Mr. Watson, great pillar of the community. That generation had something special, that pull up by your bootstrap, him and Rex Harris and even my dad back in the day didn't have the school educational piece, but they had the life. They had doctor degrees in life experience with that. And Mr. Watson still today, he pops in and gives me his recommendation on a thing or two. And matter of fact, I got a letter on my desk I need to open and respond to, because he'll handwrite a letter and say, hey, I see this, that, and the other.
I get them.
And then just you get them too.
I get them too.
So you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, no, he's done phenomenally well. But people like that certainly can give a lot to that. Because business is complex. I mean, and it's changing, and that's the thing that I don't know that we were talking the other day about just how business and how the world changes and how businesses have to quickly adapt. The Blockbuster versus Netflix versus Netflix would mail you a disc, and now that's even changed to being able to click your TV, and now it's all streaming and touchless. And the companies who don't move and change, the Sears Roebucks of the world, 118, 20-year-old company that couldn't be nimble enough to go online or to change their business model, and so you need professional advice. You need people like Mr. Watson who has the historical point of view, but you do need to equip yourself to be well-rounded.
Yeah, because I believe that some communities, what they're doing, they're marrying both sides of that, and I think that makes them better.
Yeah.
A better product.
Right.
Because, there's some people, I give them credit for what they do education-wise, but a lot of them have never really started a business and been successful at it themselves. Right. And
so we do try to handhold you in that process, and using the Mr. Watson as an example, they're very good at Michael Gilbert with E-Myth Revisit book says those are the technicians. They're really good at what they do, right? But then you have the manager and the entrepreneur. There's three personalities to owning a business, and that's building your systems. And the entrepreneur, visionary, where do you see yourself 5-10 years from now in your business. And those are the touch points that we assist a business with. So if you have the Mr. Watson and say, you know what, I'm a painter, I'm a electrician, and I do well at that, but that paperwork that the city wants me to do, I have no idea how to do that. So we sit with you, one of our procurement business development specialists, and say, okay, hand me your paperwork. And he's going to come in. We've had a couple of Mr. Watsons and say, hey, here's my insurance, here's this. And she'll sit with them and go over and say, okay, tell me about the project that you did. Well, I just worked on XYZ, and that was $100,000. Okay, how many people did you hire to do that work? Let's talk about those jobs you created. What we're going to do here is build your past performance. So to be able to show you in the commercial area that you have the capacity to bid on this $60,000 project to get you started. What we're going to do is create you a capability statement, but you're going to sit down and talk about that project that you did. What was how much did it cost? You got for it. What was some of the materials that you purchased, including in terms of your employees or subcontractors that you've hired as well. And then we're going to walk you through the City of Fayetteville or Fayetteville State vendor application process. And we'll sit with you and write down and help you to write that application out. Well, we'll let you write it, but then we come behind you and tweak it. And then we'll also submit it for you as well. Help you to submit those. So those are some of the things that we do. So once we teach you how to do that once or twice, then you get comfortable doing it, and then they just come back and just say, hey, I just need more questions. We have a couple of guys and ladies as well that will come in continuously to set up appointment with our procurement specialists to say, hey, I'm looking at this opportunity. Tell me what you think about this. Do you think I have the ability to do it? And a lot of times it's about that confidence level too. And then we just say, hey, if you got that project at 60, now let's see about this 100,000, and also look for you in terms of trying to find and filling out what are those gaps that you're missing. If it's, equity gap, financial gap, or if it's, your back office is really, as Mitch was saying, that, you're missing some areas there. Well, you know what? We're going to connect you with a student group. And what that student group is going to do is going to come to your office and help you organize your books.
Excellent. Well, I think about the vocation that you're in. The Daffers are my good friends, and they started that business in 1946. His dad, actually started with Garrett's Funeral Home.
Right.
And so
who birthed most of them.
Right. So I'm saying, right. So they are celebrating 80 years the 29th, and I thought about that too, because they're in your region,
right.
Which is pretty phenomenal. They have business in Angier and Dunn, as in Colton Funeral Home. You guys are there in Lumberton, but I think about March Funeral Home out of the DC area, right? Yeah. I met them through just my work in ministry, and I was immensely impressed.
Oh yeah,
that's another level.
Oh yeah,
but see, I'm thinking that sometimes you can do things at that level, but when you go to that level, then you gotta go.
Oh yeah.
To people like Dr. Coven, you know what I mean? Are you familiar with March Funeral Home? No, but they are a
2,000 to 3,000
conglomerate.
Okay.
When it comes to
volume.
The volume of the services that they do.
In Baltimore and Richmond.
Right.
Okay.
They all.
I haven't heard you talk about that one.
Yeah, they're
I think you know
they're
some
ones.
of them.
Yeah, we talk about a lot.
Yeah, they're huge now. They're huge.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying is that I think that the plus what we talk about and what before I leave the planet, I like to see happen in my lifetime is that those what might be considered mom and pop businesses that want to go to the next level, that you guys are providing things for them to go to the next level, because there's some people that really know how to do it, but unfortunately, when some of them die, the business is going to die.
Right.
And that's what hopefully, if you got dependents that want to keep it going, you don't want that to happen.
Right. Succession is a big piece to any business's forecast, because when you are owner operator and the brand's built around you, and you have not put those systems in place, because what I've learned is as you grow it and scale it, you have to get different processes and procedures, and a lot of stuff you don't know because you haven't ever accomplished that before, and you have to bring in people with the expertise that are able to build those systems out for you, like the marches, like you said. From the city side, we look at small business as an industry, right? That we're not blessed to have an ocean or mountains here that has industry that ties to that. We're trying to build our industries with sports and with the education of cyber and defense. Small business is a big industry, and we want to make sure the process is fair. The city's a $300+ million corporation that spends and buys goods and services from somebody. The county is the same, probably $600 million. PwC is the same, $400 million. And it goes on. And collaboratively and all together, if we put some intentionality behind that, and the hub was able to be that facilitator that found out the bidding process for the city, the bidding process for the county, so that people who know how to do the work but are intimidated about the process, we can break down that barrier. That's one of those constraints that I have to have bonding insurance. So do we have a fair process that they can maybe JV with someone to get them bonded so they can get that experience? And you can't get a bond without having the experience or the capital. And are there ways that we can break the contract up so that now that it is within reason for you? And we've turned so many people who build things and do the construction work for other people but didn't have the license capability. Now they have the license, and so you've created people who are now in a different space to scale up like from one level to the next. And so that's our role, was to make sure that the public side of this is fair and have that same level of opportunity, and they handle the expertise, and it's a great combination.
Well, look, and how I see our role, we have a break. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to go to a break. Hold that. We're going to come right back. You have Dr. Tamara Colvin and Mayor Colvin in talking really entrepreneurship, business, and talk about. Let me say this. Look, African American HBCUs produce more entrepreneurs that look like us than any other group. And I think that's missed by a lot of people. And I saw this thing popped up on my social media. Just overall, out of the top 10 HBCUs in the country, Fayetteville State was number 6.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Great news. Well, look, we're going to be back for more following this.
At Fayetteville State University, you will do something you thought you could never do. And never say never again. With NC Promise $500 per semester tuition, dare to see where you can go. Check out all your options, including our new cybersecurity program. Because tomorrow just can't wait. Fayetteville State University. Anything really can happen. Are you in?
You ever notice how most helpful information always seems to show up just a little too late? Like, oh, the deadline was yesterday. Or,
you could have saved money if you've done that earlier.
Timing matters. With smart timing, you can lower your energy costs by running appliances like washers, dryers, and dishwashers outside of peak hours. And by adjusting your thermostat just a few degrees higher between 3 and 6 in the afternoon, you can save even more. It's a simple shift that helps reduce strain on the energy grid, supports a more sustainable future, and keeps power reliable for everyone in our community. Because at Fayetteville PwC, we're committed to being environmentally responsible, dependable, and deeply invested in the place we all call home. Timing matters, and smart timing means savings. Learn more at startsaving@faypwc.com.
My name is Ron Ross. I need your vote for County Commissioner. If elected, I will focus on what truly matters, you, the people. Budgets will be transparent and efficient. I will support policies that create good jobs while protecting our natural resources. I will keep the voters' message strong. We want results, not continued broken promises. Vote Ron Ross, County Commissioner. Paid for by the committee to elect Ron Ross.
3 people are dead after shooting in the Prospect Hill area of Caswell County Wednesday morning. Sheriff Tony Durden says that all of those involved were in the same family, and the shooter is among the dead. It's not clear why a plane was allowed to take off as President Trump's helicopter was approaching Reagan National Airport, an apparent violation of safety procedures put in place after last year's mid-air collision between an Army helicopter and an airliner near the airport. A Frontier Airlines flight had to make an emergency landing at Raleigh-Durham International Airport Wednesday afternoon. The Airbus A320 was in the air for about an hour and a half before it returned to the airport. No injuries reported. North Carolina Republicans plan to replace Congressman Chuck Edwards on the ballot as soon as next week, following the incumbent's decision Wednesday to end his re-election campaign. Cozell McQueen, a member of NC State's 1983 championship-winning men's basketball team, has died. He was 64. Tony Rixby, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The Cumberland County Board of Elections will remain open today. The Board of Elections office will be open from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. to help voters and candidates filing for the Cumberland County Board of Education. The Cumberland County Animal Services team now offers a $25 adoption deposit for cats, dogs, kittens, and puppies who have finished their stray hold and are waiting for their spay or neuter surgery. Meet the pet, place a deposit, and they'll hold them until the procedure is complete. For more information, go to cumberlandcountync.gov/animals. The City of Fayetteville hosted the 2026 Service Awards and Excellence in Action ceremony, recognizing employees whose dedication and commitment make a difference every day. They are especially proud to celebrate the men and women of the Fayetteville Police Department whose years of service, professionalism, and unwavering commitment have helped to shape the department into what it is today. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
Good Thursday morning. We start your day with partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the low 70s. We'll stay partly cloudy through this afternoon. Some isolated showers and storms are possible, and highs will reach the upper 80s and low 90s. We're then mostly cloudy overnight and through Friday morning. Temperatures drop to the low 70s. A few storms are possible early tonight. Then we'll reach the upper 80s and low 90s again on Friday with a few showers and storms possible. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
In life's most difficult moments, you deserve compassion, dignity, and peace of mind. At Wiseman Mortuary, 431 Cumberland Street, we've been serving families with care and respect for generations. We're proud to announce our new location, Wiseman Mortuary of Garland, 65 North Belgrade Avenue, Garland, North Carolina. From traditional services to personalized tributes, we are here to guide you every step of the way with warm understanding and experience. Let us help you honor a life well lived. Wiseman Mortuary, where every life is celebrated and every family is cared for. Call us today at 910-483-7111 in Fayetteville or 910-529-1341 or visit wisemanmortuary.com to learn more. Wiseman Mortuary in Fayetteville and Garland, caring for families when it matters most.
In a split second, everything can change. Pedestrians, use crosswalks, stay alert, and never assume drivers see you. Drivers, slow down near intersections and watch for pedestrians. It only takes a second of distraction to change a life forever. Whether you're behind the wheel or on foot, stay alert and stay safe. A message from the City of Fayetteville, because safety is everyone's responsibility.
This is TJ the DJ, and you're listening to My Mama on Inspirational Vibes with Tamika Bright on WIDU.
My name is Ron Ross. I need your vote for County Commissioner. If elected, I will focus on what truly matters, you, the people. Budgets will be transparent and efficient. I will support policies that create good jobs while protecting our natural resources. I will keep the voters' message strong. We want results, not continued broken promises. Vote Ron Ross County Commissioner, paid for by the committee to elect Ron Ross.
Hi, I'm Mitch Colvin, president of Colvin Funeral Home and Crematory. For over 50 years, our family has provided professional services with dignity, compassion, and respect with families during a time of need. We realize funeral services are as unique as those we're honoring. We offer a variety of affordable, quality services tailored to meet each family's needs, specializing in burial and cremation services. Proudly servicing Cumberland, Robeson, Hope, Harnett, Bladen, and surrounding counties from 2 locations, 2010 Murchison Road, Fayetteville, 1904 Elizabethtown Road, Lumberton. For more information, visit our website, www.hmcolvin.com.
An area of high pressure to our east will bring southerly flow to the area. That'll keep things warm and humid across the region. Temperatures continue to heat up through this weekend and the start of next week, and we'll have chances for isolated showers and storms. We're partly cloudy this morning with temperatures in the low 70s. We'll stay partly cloudy through this afternoon. Some isolated showers and storms are possible. Highs reach the upper 80s and low 90s. We'll have similar temperatures on Friday. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
And we're back now again. Our guest today, Dr. Samara Colvin. She's anchored with the mayor. He's here, and it's a good conversation because we're talking about entrepreneurship. We talk about what's going on at Bronco Midtown, and certainly the city plays a large role in that, as well as the county. And people, just got to understand the whole business, the big business model here. Like I said, there are a lot of mom and pop restaurants, other things, that people that really know how to do what they're doing. But to get to the next level, you're gonna need someone that's able to read market shares and things like that and know what those things mean. Cause now I tell you one thing, now I had a cousin that he owned 11 McDonald's one time between Durham and Raleigh, okay?
Yeah.
And, but I give McDonald's credit for one thing. They're not going to let you set up a McDonald's without doing the homework.
Their research.
They're very thorough research. And then somebody said, well, how come there's a McDonald's here? And then they just put a Burger King across the street because McDonald's did the homework.
Right.
And they know that that's how that works.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
They understood the market.
And they cluster. You went out restaurants together, gas stations together, all that stuff. Yeah, they see the need in the markets there, and the market share is there for sure. So, and that hurts their brand if a franchisee is not successful.
Oh, that's right.
You open it up and close it, and that just hurts McDonald's brand. So they're not going to have that.
They're not going to have that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that I'll give my last 2 cents and I'll tip. Well, I can't tip out because she's riding with me.
Oh,
so,
okay. Oh,
so
she
kick me
she
out,
has to
Troy.
go with you. Okay,
you can't kick me out, Troy.
Okay.
So, but what I'll say is, as you look forward to the gala, I think that if you're listening to this and businesses, people. I think it would be great to check those categories out and highlight them. A lot of times, the entrepreneur works very long hours, underappreciated, he underpaid really, because it's like, until you get your business to a point where it can actually produce and take care of you, you just have a very underpaid job is what you are. You're an independent employee for yourself, and because you're working weekends, you're working nights, and so if you know that business owner that puts it in, day out, make sure that you highlight them, and they would appreciate it. And Troy, this is a black radio station. We're in a majority black town. I'm just going to say this, that the one thing that we as African Americans, business is tough for us. And we don't really see the generational pass down of a lot of businesses, because what else of value and of substance do we have to pass to? And everybody's kids don't want to do it. I'm one of those that say, hey, I'm not getting ready to twist my kids' arms about making whatever decision they make. But think about if you can think of a African American or minority owned business that's multiple generations.
Right.
That's unique, special. It needs to be highlighted. So, nominate and think about something that's been a pillar of this community. When A&H was being demolished, there were a lot of people who said, I remember that cleaners from the 60s and and had their own historical perspectives, and a lot of times businesses were pillars of the community. So just think about it. Go on to fsuhub.com, right? And nominate. I'm sure the small business owners will be very, very appreciative of it.
And so, Dr. Colvin, that gala would be when?
September the 10th at Fayetteville State University Student Center.
Okay, September the 10th. That's on what day of the week is that on?
On a Thursday.
On
it's
a
a
Thursday.
black tie gala.
What time is it?
5 p.m. is cocktail, 6 o'clock is the actual event.
Okay, all right.
So encourage you, Troy, you've named quite a few amazing multi-generational legacy businesses. So I have an ask of you to go on the website and nominate some of those businesses as well. I have an ask of the listeners to do the same. And also those listeners that are in business and they are looking for assistance in trying to scale their business, trying to figure out what is the next market that they should be entering into. Utilize, I never say free because there's nothing free. Taxpayer dollars pay for this. We say at no cost. But we also have tools and resources to assist you with those things. So we have resources and softwares that also make us sound intelligent and smart. And what I mean by that, when you're talking about, scaling, how do you figure out if you're ready to buy another funeral home, or if you're ready to expand into a different market, especially those existing businesses. We have a software that we use. It's called Profit Sense, and it's a financial analysis tool. And in that financial analysis tool, it will what we do is take your balance sheets and your financial data and tell you where you are. And what are some areas that you're missing in regards to your key performance indicators, your financial ratios, and also giving you some recommendations of how you can improve upon that. But it's also a forecast. It's also a predictor. Your historical data is also a predictor of what you are projected to forecast. That is a great financial report that you would give a lender that shows that you came prepared, where the lender can see from your historical balance sheets, income statements, where you are and where you're going based off of that information. And those are free tools that we use to assist you, even down to the IBIS World Report of understanding what's the market, what's the size, what's the trend, what's really growing there, who are your competitive competitors, and how do you compete in that market. So those are some of the other softwares and tools that we have to help you make an educated decision on how to move forward, either starting your business or expanding your business, and however that goes. And what I wanted to say to when Mitch was talking about small businesses and industry, it is and the industry in terms of I think we collaborate well, and having that diverse small business economy, just a diverse economy itself. And an example of when he was, the Ukrainian plant that's coming, right? Already in my head, I'm thinking of, it needs a supply chain management. Right, so that needs drone repairs. So how do we help those businesses that's already there, procure them to be able to work with Ukrainian plant, to be able to supply them in their supply chain management? The medical school that's coming up, the medical and K Fair, how do we create programming? And we actually did do that, create a program, Launch RX. And what we're finding is you have a lot of individuals that are really skilled at what they do, and they're transitioning out and say, what does my career path or what does my next chapter look like? When you have established, experienced dental hygienists, experienced mental consultants, experienced physical therapists, and they're the technician, but they don't understand how to do the business. And that's the supply chain management right there to the Cape Fear Valley health system. We had an individual that transitioned out of the military. He's a mental health specialist, psychiatrist, and he came to the hub doing this for 20 years and said, I don't want to retire to go work for someone else. I want to start my own. And he came through our program and our financial literacy level up and created and started his own mental health business. From that, and what is he doing? He's consulting, and we've helped them look for opportunities with Cape Fear and other government entities, and being able to provide, look for procurement opportunities there. And that's the supply chain right there to your Department of Health and Human Services, Cape Fear Valley. So we collaborate and we work hand in hand, that we could be that recruiting tool to those industries too, and saying, here is a ecosystem that could help you in your supply chain management, as well as finding the students to and employers.
How many businesses would you say have come through the hub over the last 5 years, or the economic impact? Like you talked a little bit about it at a function we were in.
It's like 246. We're blessed, and I say, and shout out to the Hub family. I don't call my team. We're family. We have our Small Business Technology Development Center that's inside the Hub. That their flagship is really assisting those existing businesses. They're the ones that's going to give you that profit sense analysis that you can take to the lender, or you can take to an investor to say, hey, I have the capacity to be able to buy this business or be able to expand. Then we also have the Veterans Business Outreach Center that help transition military spouses, active duty, and as well as veterans transition into entrepreneurship as well. That was what I did before taking on the role of the Hub executive director. So out of that, between all three of us, about 246 businesses have gone through, and we've helped in terms of procure contracts over 148 million, from goods and services to construction. The big piece of that has been in construction, of course, being that FSU, and we were working diligently with our procurement department and making for sure that a lot of our local businesses were getting those local procurement dollars there.
Because there's one guy I certainly want you guys to meet. Is Kelsey Battle. I don't know if you know him.
Kelsey stays in. He stays in the Hub. He was one those students too, that an FSU student who had the idea of the vending machines, right. And so now Kelsey is now procuring vending machines and certain government entities as well, government agencies and local as well. So he works with Rudy a lot. As a matter of fact, his mom. We were at another event, and Shannon came up and said, where is Rudy? Rudy is my next my son, because Kelsey comes so often of getting that feedback, and he's so hungry for the information that he has sat down and really understood and took in all those next steps that now he has several vending machines.
He's selling his product is in Navy stores.
Yeah.
I mean, we met at Federal States, one of those homecoming, and we was in line and struck a conversation, and I wrote about his story, because he graduated from high school not knowing how to read.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't know that.
Right, and I wrote a story. It was the most read story in the Federal Observer that year.
Wow.
And he told me, he came back, he was on behind the mic with us about a month or so ago, and he said what happened was, because he was a veteran, international business magazines picked that story up.
The son or the dad?
Huh? No, there's this guy right here. I'm talking about right now. He's over in his last name is Battle, but Shannon is.
Something about her son.
Is the
we
wife,
call him
right?
Kelsey. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know he had been in the military.
I didn't know either.
Don't talk about the dad.
Oh, okay.
Okay, talking about the dad. Okay, I'm thinking about the son.
Don't talk about the dad.
Okay.
But the dad was the one, and because he met Shannon, because she was at Campbell University Law School.
Yeah,
but
that is his story.
I wrote about that, and it just blew him up. Mm-hmm. So now the dad, if you go to Channel 17, they got a whole lot of stories about him, because he's now, all of his products is in AFES, as well as in Navy stores.
Okay.
And just an incredible story.
Yeah. And you've got a bunch of stories like that right here in this region that I think this is an opportunity to highlight. And I asked Tamara about how the economic impact, and I don't think she's really grasped that. But what I want to pose out here to some of these businesses, how will technology change what you do? Have you planned for that? A lot of folks, I've got an aunt that says, once she starts hearing all this stuff about AI and all that, she's like, I don't even want to be around. You know what I mean? So some people are at that position. But if you're in a business, you're going to a bank for capital, you need to know what the next 3 to 5 years look like and what the impact will be from a technology standpoint. Because this is not like going from the typewriter to the computer, which was a big transition for a lot of people.
Oh, look. I work for somebody right down the street. I wish we just throw these things and keep it typewriter. I'm like, don't believe you want to do that. but there are people that are resistant to change. I think some of that is personality driven. There are some people that deal with change better than some other.
You just don't know what you don't know, and that creates anxiety for people. But I just think, this is an opportunity to use an educational institution to answer some of those questions.
Oh, certainly, yeah. I mean, that's what they're there for. I mean, and you look, when they're successful, they're making someone else successful. That's a win-win situation. Right. That's what we're looking for, a win-win.
And we were in a meeting yesterday. I guess we'll share this with the with UNCP Entrepreneur Hub. So her counterparts and Dr. Colvin made the intro for me. But listening to what they have. And then when we actually saw a story about what he was talking about, but it was saying how 3D printing, we're trying to get a little bit more of that advanced skill set up here for making things or providing, I told you we're trying to move to providing things to the Department of Army versus to the soldiers in the Army. But basically he was talking about 3D printers are printing barracks. And he sent us an article yesterday about how the military saved tens of millions of dollars by having a 3D printer built building, so in your mind you're like, how can I print a barrack? But it's a huge thing like a printer. It has concrete in it, and so you got concrete walls, floors. It just pops, pop, and before you know it, it's building a whole barrack. And he actually sent a link to a story last night, which was very interesting. But those kind of things are going to have an impact to the construction industry, right? And what do you do when you're used to getting government contracts and you're used to, being able to employ hundreds of people to build something that is now automated? What's the impact going to be on your business, and how do you bid and keep up with that? And those are the kind of complexities that I'm saying that technology needs to be factored into your future growth plans.
Sure. So, Dr. Colvin, I know you guys had to go, and our time is up as well, but thank you so much for coming in. And again, look, we're here now because we're business, all right?
That's right.
And our signal on the tower down there in Robeson County, right there in Lumber Bridge, the 98.5 signal, that goes all the way up to Benson.
Wow.
So when you talk on that signal, now you on 99.7 now, but we can sync all these things together. We would love to have you.
To know.
Right. We'd love to have you come and talk about this so we can boom it out there.
Yes.
And you can talk to most of, if not all of, your 10 counties.
Okay.
And so
wonderful.
Well, we're looking for that. And,
Thank you.
You're certainly welcome to come back without him anytime you want to. So you straight. I take care of you. He all right. He all right. But look, I let last comments be for you. And again, thank you for coming by. Thank you also, Mr. Mayor, for coming in and sharing. We can do a whole lot of good stuff together. You know what I mean? And time for us to do that.
That's right. Well, I just want to say thank you to Wes Cookman and Troy for giving me the opportunity to talk about the Entrepreneurial Gala. Again, this is a celebration for our community, to be able to celebrate the incredible work that our small businesses, entrepreneurs, industry leaders have done to really drive economic growth in just not only this community, but the region. And let's take the time out of our schedule to nominate those individuals. And if it's yourself, sometimes you need to pat your own self on the back. Like some of the examples you said, Troy, and some of the funeral homes there that has 6, 5, and 7 generations, that's commendable.
It is.
And to be able to have that longevity, that needs to be recognized and celebrated. So my ask of the community is, if you know of those individuals, from a small business owner that you felt have done amazing work to this emerging entrepreneur that's also done amazing things, or a community, we have a nonprofit category as well that that have been transformational. nominate them. And if it's yourself, nominate yourself as well. Again, the information is fsuhub.com. The deadline to self-nominate or to nominate is August 15th. And also, just come and put on, as old folks say, your glad rags, and let's just have a good time celebrating the great work that's here in our community. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Hey, man, nothing to say. She summed it up.
Okay, well, look, thank you guys so much. Have a great day. And thank you all for tuning in and listening. Miss Tammy Quick, she's all that. See you later.
Your station for inspiration and information. 1600 AM, 99.7 FM, WIDU1600.com. We are WIDU Fayetteville. We do radio. Follow us on Facebook at WIDU 1600 AM.
NCN News, I'm Tony Rixby. In Caswell County, 3 people are dead after shooting in the Prospect Hill area. Caswell County Sheriff Tony Durden explained to reporters all of those involved were in the same family, the shooter among the dead.
Caswell County Sheriff's Office immediately requested the assistance of the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, SBI. Scene investigators are on scene processing evidence and conducting interviews. There is no threat to the general public, and the event is contained.
A 4th person was taken to Duke Hospital in Durham for treatment. For the first time since Republican Chuck Edwards announced he's exiting the race for North Carolina's 11th congressional district seat, Democratic nominee Jamie Ager is reacting, telling WLOS in Asheville.
We've got real issues.